Good day! I am Josh Ian Mendilio and we are the Group 4. And for today, we're diving into an exciting lesson that promises to broaden your horizons and deepen your understanding. Get ready to embark on a journey of discovery as we explore humanistic and social foundation of curriculum. We hope that by the end of our video discussion, we'll emerge with a deeper appreciation and newfound insight into the fascinating realm of humanistic and social foundation of curriculum. So, without further ado, let's embark on this enlightening learning experience together.
Have you ever heard humanistic psychology? It is a fascinating approach to understanding human behavior. Humanistic psychology is a psychological perspective that emphasizes the individual innate potential for growth and self-actualization. It focuses on personal experiences, emotion, and subject perception, evaluating human and uniqueness. Rejecting behaviorism, strict determinism, and explores self-esteem, personal fulfillment, and the role of the will in a human behavior, fostering a holistic understanding of the person. Humanistic psychology reminds us that we are all unique individuals with our own experience and perspective. Human psychology is about embracing that uniqueness and striving for personal growth, and it's also about understanding the whole person, not just their behavior.
Gestalt theory. Learning is explained in terms of wholeness of the problem. This theory of learning emphasizes the importance of perceiving and understanding the whole problem or situation rather than just its individual parts or elements. According to this theory, learning occurs when individuals are able to perceive the entire problem as a coherent and organized whole rather than just simply as a collection of separate components. For example, when learning a new concept or skill, individuals may initially encounter various pieces of information or steps. However, true understanding and learning occur when these pieces are integrated and understood as part of a larger whole.
Human beings do not respond to isolated stimuli, but to an organization or pattern of stimuli. This statement reflects the Gestalt psychology principle that humans don't react solely to individual stimuli, but rather to the overall organization or pattern formed by these stimuli. In other words, our perception is influenced not just by the individual components of situation, but also by how they relate to each other and form a coherent as a whole. For example, when reading, our brains naturally combine words to produce coherent sentence. We do not read each word separately, but rather understand the overall meaning of the sentence. This perception highlights the importance of considering the context and relationship between stimuli in understanding human perception and behavior. Keys to learning and Gestalt psychology principle. Learning is complex and abstract. The statement learning is complex and abstract suggests that the process of acquiring knowledge and skills involve intricate and non-concrete elements. It implies that learning goes beyond simple memorization of facts or procedures and often involves understanding abstract concepts, making connection between diverse ideas, and applying knowledge in various contexts. This perspective acknowledges the multifaceted nature of learning, which can encompass cognitive, emotional, social, and behavioral dimensions. Example, it takes more than simply finger placement, memorization to become proficient at applying an instrument to compose music. Musicians need to understand the abstract ideas of harmony, melody, and rhythm. Overall, it emphasizes the depth and complexity inherent in the acquisition and application of knowledge and skills.
Learners analyze problems, discriminate between essential and non-essential data, and perceive relationships. This statement highlights the cognitive processes involved in learning. This analytical approach allows learners to identify patterns and understand relationships within the problem or subject matter. By discerning what is essential and what is not, learners can develop a deeper understanding of the material. Like for example, rather than learning every function in a new programming language, developers concentrate on understanding the fundamental ideas and syntax. Learners will perceive something in relation to the whole, what or how they perceive is related to their previous experiences. This statement underscores the Gestalt principle that learners perceive objects or situations in relation to the entire context, rather than isolated parts. Additionally, it acknowledges that perception is influenced by individuals' previous experiences. The importance of considering the holistic view and personal background in shaping how learners perceive and make sense of the world around them.
Abraham Maslow has been considered as the father of humanistic psychology. He is the famous for proposing that human motivation is based on a hierarchy of needs. Abraham Maslow set forth a classical theory of human needs. Ernstein and Hankins list the needs in order of importance as follows. First one is basic psychological needs. Needs necessary to maintain life like food, shelter, sleep, and water. Second is safety needs. Needs necessary for routine and avoidance of danger. Third is love and belonging needs. Those related to affectionate relationships with people. Fourth one is self-esteem needs. Those related to receiving recognition as a worthwhile person. Fifth is knowing and understanding needs. Those more evident in persons of high intelligence than those of limited intelligence, like wanting to learn and organize intellectual relationships. And the last one, self-actualization needs. Those related to becoming the best person one can be to develop one's fullest potential. These needs have obvious implications to teaching and learning. A child's whose basic needs like love or esteem are not met may not be interested in acquiring knowledge of the world. The child's needs for love or esteem takes precedence over learning. From Maslow's perspective, the drive to learn is intrinsic.
Curriculum planners and teachers should consider the needs and interests of the learners in the curriculum decision-making process. In the school and classroom step-ups, Maslow's needs can be exemplified as follows. First is basic psychological needs. It means students being well-fed, being able to sleep well, being physically comfortable, good seating arrangement, and room temperature, among others. Second is safety needs. In the classroom, safety means a non-judgmental atmosphere that accompanies all responses from the students. Students should be free to participate in the teaching-learning situation. Wrong answers should not be disapproved without explanation as to why they are wrong. Third is love and belonging needs. Teacher, peers, and parental approval. Students' ideas and effort should be approved. Fourth is self-esteem needs. Teachers should build self-confidence in students by giving them roles to undertake and trusting and encouraging them to do the roles correctly. They should avoid intimidation or threatening students. Fifth is knowing and understanding needs. Having the students develop an interest to advance their studies or a general interest in learning something new. And lastly is self-actualizing needs. For the teacher, it may include watching the students blossom or anti-risk-taking students starting to participate in class. Learning experience should help students to obtain joy in learning.
Carl Rogers was an influential American psychologist known for his development of client-centered therapy, also known as person-centered therapy. He emphasized the importance of empathy, unconditional positive regard, and genuineness in therapy sessions, believing that these qualities were essential for fostering personal growth and self-actualization in individuals. Rogers' humanistic approach to psychology had a significant impact on the field, particularly in the areas of counseling and psychotherapy. His contribution is the non-directive and therapeutic learning, wherein he established counseling. Carl Rogers' ideas have had an impact on education and curriculum development, particularly through his emphasis on student-centered learning and the creation of supportive learning environments. Some influences of Carl Rogers in curriculum include student-centered learning, personalized learning, experiential learning, emphasis on self-direction, and focus on emotional and intelligence. First is student-centered learning. Rogers advocated for a shift from teacher-centered to student-centered approaches in education. He believed that learning should be focused on the needs, interests, and experiences of students rather than on rigid curriculum standards. Second is personalized learning. Rogers emphasized the importance of personalized learning experiences tailored to individual students' unique needs and abilities. This approach encourages educators to consider students' backgrounds, interests, and learning styles when designing curriculum and instructional strategies.
Experiential learning. Rogers promoted experiential learning, which involves hands-on interactive activities that engage students in real-world experiences. This approach allows students to apply theoretical concepts to practical situations, fostering deeper understanding and retention of knowledge. Emphasis on self-direction. Rogers believed in the importance of fostering students' autonomy and self-direction in their learning process. Curriculum influenced by his ideas encourages students to take ownership of their learning journey, set goals, and pursue their interests with the guidance from educators. Focus on emotional intelligence. Rogers emphasized the role of emotion in the learning process and the importance of creating a supportive, non-judgmental environment where students feel valued and accepted. Curriculum influenced by these ideas incorporates opportunities for emotional expression, self-reflection, and interpersonal connections. Overall, Carl Rogers' influence in curriculum emphasizes the importance of creating learning experiences that prioritizes students' holistic development, promote active engagement, and empower learners to reach their full potential, as he believed that curriculum is concerned with process, not product, personal needs, not subject matter, and psychological meaning, not cognitive scores.
The modern understanding of social foundations of curriculum, highlighting the essential role of school in facilitating knowledge acquisition and educating children and youth in today's society. It emphasizes that schools serve as hubs of knowledge, ideas, and interconnected thinking, driving educational processes forward. However, it also acknowledges the diversity among individuals within society and the need to cater to these differences. In terms of curriculum development, the social foundation focuses on fostering human development to promote healthy and satisfactory growth within society. It outlines the three stages of human development: early childhood, middle childhood, and adolescence, noting that topics with these stages often have social dimensions and contribute to various aspects of learning.
Educators must delve into the intricate relationship between schools and society to effectively navigate curriculum development and delivery. Hello, I am Jeric Cesariano and today we'll explore the dynamics of change and its impact on the curriculum. Let's begin with the concept of society as a source of change. Change is an inevitable force, and the curriculum can either mirror societal shifts or play a role in shaping them indirectly. As we move forward into the future, society plays a pivotal role in various developments. However, it often struggles to adapt to the rapid pace of change, leading to what we call cultural lag, where different parts of society evolve at different rates. Understanding the nature of change involves examining both its speed and direction. The rate of change carries significant implications, sometimes overshadowing the direction of change itself. Moreover, our ability to make informed choices is impacted by the overwhelming influx of information, a phenomenon known as future shock, where individuals experience an overload of new experiences. This shift in direction represents a fundamental change that transcends mere quantitative shifts. As educators, it's crucial to recognize these societal dynamics and adapt our curriculum accordingly to prepare students for the complexities of the ever-changing world.
Schools as agent of change. Schools are institutions that reflect and reinforce social norms and values. It is a community of people committed to develop human potentials with the goal of attaining positive social transformation. For the change, we can start in changing the literacy, dealing with diversity, and with the gender or social, sexual orientation that has impact of globalization. In school, teachers can contribute to creating a more inclusive and equitable society by empowering students to challenge stereotypes, embrace diversity, and foster respect for all genders. Knowledge as agent of change. Knowledge is a key building block of change management. So, has your knowledge grown? The change is a lot easier if somebody already know the knowledge. In organizing the knowledge, we will know the areas that we need to know and to address. Keep in mind that knowledge is only effective if there is already awareness and desire to make a change. If it was neglected, then knowledge is irrelevant.
John Dewey was an American philosopher, psychologist, and educational reformer. He was one of the most prominent American scholars in the first half of 20th century. Dewey is known for his advocacy of democracy. He believed of two fundamental elements, school and civil society, to be major elements deserving consideration and reconstruction in order to encourage experimental intelligence and plurality. Here are some key contributions of John Dewey's in social aspect of curriculum. First, he believed that education should prepare individuals for active and responsible participation in a democratic society. Second, Dewey argued that education should be based on real-life experiences of students, connecting classroom learning to the broader social context.
Aside from that, Dewey viewed school as communities that should reflect and contribute to the larger social environment. Dewey's ideas influence the social foundation of curriculum by advocating for educational experiences that are relevant to society's challenges and needs. Lastly, he emphasized the importance of taking into account each student's interests and needs. This perspective has influenced the development of curricula that are responsive to learners' diverse backgrounds and experiences, promoting inclusivity and addressing social inequalities. Overall, John Dewey's contribution to the social foundation of curriculum have had a long-term impact on the development of educational practices aimed at preparing individuals for active and responsible participation in a dynamic and changing society.
Alvin Eugene Toffler, an author of Future Shock, an American writer, futurist, and businessman, regarded as one of the world's outstanding futurists, known for his work discussing modern technologies, including the digital revolution and the communication revolution. Now let's proceed to the future shock. He was concerned that the accelerating rate of technological and social change was leaving people disconnected and suffering from shattering stress and disorientation. Toffler's central message was that individuals and societies need to adopt this accelerating rate of change in order to avoid future and thrive in rapidly changing world. He said that future shock is thus not despotic vision of future, but more like in warning siren, adapt before it's too late.
Alvin Toffler suggested that in the future, parents might have the resources to teach prescribed curriculum from home, as a result of technology, not in spite of it. Alvin Toffler, a futurist, proposed technological advancement could empower parents to teach prescribed curriculum at home. With the aid of online resources, interactive learning platforms, and digital tools, parents may have the means to educate their children outside the traditional school settings. This idea envisions technology as facilitator and not a hindrance in a homeschooling process.
Alvin Toffler believed that knowledge should prepare students for the future, which is why he foresaw schools and students working creatively, collaboratively, and independently of their age. Because the world is continuously changing, advancing, and developing, we should keep up with it. And in order to achieve the goal, the teachers must be the ones who guide students and help them attain lifelong learning skills through real world experiences. Toffler wants us to prepare for the future, both teachers and learners, so we are able to adapt to changes due to the revolution and not get overwhelmed or shocked by them.